Hi, good day everyone. Thanks to join in our presentation session today. We'll be discussing ethics, especially making ethical decision by using the virtue lens. As you may see here, uh, there are numbers of moral ethical terms displayed here. So most of them relates to people's character. And they sort of define individual personality and influence how those individual will act and make decision in real life. So there is no business without people. So these values, in other terms, uh, virtues, has great impact on people's life, and it is very true when business leader involved in it. Let's look at a few example in the next slide. There are three real life examples displayed here. First one is about Turing Pharmaceutical, who bought the right of the drug Daraprim from Impax Laboratories in 2015. Daraprim is used in combination with other drug to treat HIV patients. So Impax promised to remove Daraprim from the market, and Turing CEO raised the price from $1350 US to US $750, which is 5,455% high. So how good was it in business in economical terms? At the same time, how good was it in social responsibility terms? So I can imagine what you guys are thinking. This drew huge criticism from Hillary and even Donald Trump. So second one is another similar example of price hike, but it was about EpiPen. So third one is an opposite story. It's about Novo Nordisk is selling its insulin drug in Africa no more than 20% of the average price in the Western world. So Nordisk has consistently won praise for its ethical conduct, including commitment to making drugs available for everyone as human right. So what's going on? It's sort of obvious that how corporate business decision could influenced by moral factors. So socially irresponsible decision could impact wider community adversely. On the contrary, decision made through both economical and ethical lens would help to balance it. I'll brief in this slide why decision making through the virtue lens could help to balance business decision. So among six ethical lens, the virtue ethics is about individuals' moral character. So practicing virtues in personal life improve moral character and build socially responsible decision making capability of the business leader, and influence impact on communities. So it is the concept of focusing on moral characters such as honesty, courage, compassion, generosity, fidelity, integrity, fairness, self-control. So the virtue theory works on golden mean and golden rule principle, as shown in this picture here. Uh, and here uh, about making decision between two vices, excess and deficiencies. So based on golden rule principle, it is also about making a decision on other people's shoe. So our teammate Shuming will further elaborate on this theory.
This slide is about virtue as man himself. An important ethical theory is virtue ethics, which emphasizes the importance of individual character in moral decision making. At the heart of virtue ethics is the concept of virtue, which is the characteristic that enables individuals to act in accordance with moral principles. Virtue is not innate but acquired through practice and habit. Individuals can become better people by developing good character. At the same time, virtue ethics encourages individuals to prioritize their own internal qualities. And next slide talks about the flexibility and adaptability of virtue. Virtue ethics recognize that situations and circumstances can change, and different virtues may be necessary in different circumstances. This approach allows individuals to react to complex neural situations in a thoughtful and nuanced way. Virtue ethics encourages individuals to consider the unique circumstances of each situation and apply the virtues appropriate to the situation rather than applying a rigid set of rules or principles. Virtues are subjective and open to different interpretations, and different people may prioritize different virtues in or interpret them in different ways. Thank you.
Shuming, and Aristotle defines virtue as a state of character concerned with truth, determined by principle, determined by a person with practical wisdom, and Confucianism responds by Confucius mainly follows the truths that arise from human development and the character growth when making judgments. So their virtue ethics is different from consequentialism. So we know that virtue is learned through practice and habits, and that individuals can become better people by developing good character. It emphasizes the importance of individual character in more decision making. However, a potential weakness of virtue ethics is that it may lack a clear set of guidelines or principles for ethical decision making. Virtue is subjective and can be interpreted differently. Virtue ethics require thoughtful and reflective decision making and may not provide clear guidance in high pressure situations. Because of these properties, let's look at a few examples. The first one is in soccer. A free kick is an award of a player pushes, rushes, or throws at an opponent in the manner demanded. Careless, reckless, or using excessive force by the referee. However, the definition of carelessness and recklessness here depends actually on the subjective judgment and experience of the referee based on the character of the referee. And the second one is about Ford Motors. Knowingly flawed in design, Ford made a decision that benefited them in the moment, consoled the design flaws, and generated handsome revenue because of this new car that made Ford, for a time, the automotive leader. However, the huge loss and reputation impact after the flaws are exposed cannot be ignored. So, from the company's point and will, the current decision is good for a company's creation of value, but in the term of public reputation, it has failed miserably. And the last one is about the virtual perspective decision making is to the truth of comparison between non-profit and for-profit organizations for the government. We all know that the concept of community determines that the development of personal character is projected by the influence of the surrounding environment. Therefore, for organizations and companies, the overall concept of the company and the organization will affect the employees of the company. The main driving force of the group of non-profit organizations is mission and purpose. Among them, the employees are more philanthropic, kinder. The main driving force of a profit organization is to option more financial support to mention the operations of the organization and of growth the organization. So the government and non-profit organization have similar model and value orientations. That is, they both provide public services, so they are more inclined to cooperate with non-profit organizations. And then we'll move to a next part.
So in conclusion, we think that ethics plays a critical role in business decisions. And we think that ethics can bridge the gap between corporate and expectation, and that will promote a healthy corporate culture. It's very important in a company that will help the colleagues to work together and make the things better. And for the second one, we think ethics can use to make balanced decision in challenging situations in nowadays, and many companies are doing the global business, so it's important to have a talent to on handling the challenging situations. For third one, that we think ethics can promote social conflict resolution and improve situation sustainability and fulfill the social responsibility in the real world. That not just is good for the business, and it's also for our society. In the further recommendations, that we recommend the companies to prioritize the implementation of an ethics framework. We think by doing so, companies can ensure they are continue to grow steadily within ethics context. Nowadays, and the customer, it's not just buying the products; they are also buying the meaning behind the products. Is the product sustainable or not? Some other things like this, some other cultures that will be there critical. In the we think, and it's also good to incorporate the ethics decision making process into the business model. And we think this will help companies making decisions that not only just aim at profit but also will contain some social responsibility. We think to train employees in ethics practice is also good for companies, and this will help them to understand the importance of ethics decision making and how to implement in their daily work. So that's all of our presentation. Thank you for watching.